Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this comic review we have Artist Elite issue number 6, and with each of these Artist Elite issues we always get free stories. So first things first, I'll cover the rating for the actual cover itself, or give the rating for the cover itself, to which I give a 7.5 out of 10. We will now move into the first, second, and third story, as well as getting the story rating, as well as the art rating for each, and as well as what is happening inside each of the stories. So, as we can see on the left-hand side, we have what stories that we are going to be dealing with here. The first one is Sandwinches, the next is Death Watch, and the last one is Seraph and the Seven. So as the story begins, we meet up with someone who is called, I think it's Orally, and we get to see what's happening with her character here, and she's also got someone else with her. We also meet and encounter someone by the name of Sire Saver, who almost looks like a Cthulhu type character in sorts, but guessing like a general of type. Story continues. I actually quite enjoy the art in this. Actually feels like it would be good for an animated series. And slowly moving towards the end, until we do actually reach the end. So for this story, I gave it a 7 out of 10. And as it's nice to see them sort of like go up against their villain, but their villain doesn't feel in any way threatening, I must admit. And that's something that could probably be a little bit more improved in the story. But for the internal art, I gave a 7.5 out of 10. For the actual story itself, I gave a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the second story, having to do with Death Watch. Again, nice art. And I also like the setting, as it gives off like a almost medieval type feel. The story continues with the character. And of course, we can see that we're at a pub of sorts. We get to meet some of the locals. And of course, one of the heroes. Until, of course, we reach the end. And we meet someone in distress. For this story, for the art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think that this would probably be really good as a trade when it finally comes out. And for the art, I also gave it a 7 out of 10. So I'm going to repeat that for both story and art. They got a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the next story, which is Seraph and the Seven. And moving into the first page that begins us, and we've got him going up against the villain. You see he holds nothing back when going up against him. The villain certainly has some advantage over him. The story continues until we start to see the main character use some form of magic, or some magic is attempted to be used on him, and we learn who this particular wielder is. And her name is Lust. There's some other covers linked to what's coming next. Moving into the next thing, and that is the racing. For the art, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I quite like and enjoyed the art, and as for the story, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.